Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast. If you are looking for a podcast about instructional strategies enhanced by technology, you came to the right place. In our conversations, we will talk with tech experts, share ideas and strategies to help you build your toolbox with tools that you can use in your class immediately.
Welcome to Innovation Squadcast, and thanks for making us part of your educational PD journey. First-time listeners, welcome, and for our returning listeners, welcome back. We are glad you're here. Today, we are discussing and exploring Safari Montage. So welcome to another episode. Today, we're spotlighting how Safari Montage Learning Object Repository, or the LRO. It's part of the State Instructional Hub provided by the State Department of Education, a dynamic educational resource that holds immense potential for Berkeley County teachers. Safari Montage offers a wealth of multimedia content to help you create interactive lessons, enriching the educational experience for both teachers and students. What sets this platform apart is that it is seamlessly accessible through Classlink, and it has integration with Schoology, providing Berkeley County teachers with easy and secure access to Safari Montage's vast library of resources. As we explore the features and benefits, we'll uncover how this innovative tool empowers educators to deliver captivating lessons, foster collaboration, and cater to diverse learning styles. Get ready for a journey into the future of digital education right here on the Innovation Squadcast. Before we get started, let's pause for this week's tech tip.
Today's tip is how to add Safari Montage content into your Schoology course. So once you're in your Schoology course, go to the Add Materials drop-down menu, and on the right-hand side, you'll see Safari Montage. Click that, and now you're brought to the search page. So I'm going to search for the topic. And you'll see all the information, all the different docs and videos and images that have to do with the unit circle. I'm going to just choose the first one and click Schoology. And it is then added to my course. Another tip, when you see this, that means an LTI app was added. I like to be a little more specific, so I'm going to go to the title. I'm going to edit it so that I know that was the assignment from Safari Montage. Save changes. Then when you click on it, it brings you to the video, and you'll hit play, and it's available and accessible for your students.
Hope everybody enjoyed that tech tip. I'm Jimmy Kate.
And I'm Nicole Lapointe.
And we are Innovative Learning Coordinators in Berkeley County School District, and we're excited to be able to discuss Safari Montage today. Again, part of that kind of State Instructional Hub. So if you were to kind of think about an overview or a quick little synopsis of Safari Montage, its purpose, how it supports, what would you point to as far as how they can be supported in the classroom?
First of all, it's like a one-stop shop.
Yes.
When you go here, you can search. You can search by curriculum, you can search by topic, you can search by grade levels, and then there are over 100 publishers that you can gather information from. So all this stuff is vetted from the state, but of course, as a teacher, you're still going to look into it and, review whatever content is there to make sure it's the correct content you're trying to teach. But there is everything you can think of. There's videos, documents, interactive pages you can work with. There's everything you need to build and create a multimodal lesson.
Nice.
So
yeah. And so, like I said, what it is in the introduction as part of the State Instructional Hub. So when you click into Safari Montage, you're going to see a dashboard of lots of other things that are in there. Some of those include now Discus, the Math Nation, knowitall.org, Streamable Learning. So there's definitely other things in there. Not everything is completely open. If there's something that you're looking for that it's not exactly what you want, put a work order in. We'll see if there's access to it. But there's a lot of good resources in there. But today we're kind of just focusing on the Safari Montage portion of that, which is, again, considered an LOR, a Learning Object Repository, because it does have
3 times really fast.
I don't think I could.
Okay.
But so it has this, again, vast amount of information and lessons, videos, documents, audio books, podcasts. It's got just about, anything that you can just to enhance that lesson a little bit more, maybe even provide some extra choice to kids, that, you got your students that like text, you got some text, you got some students that like videos, you got some videos. So this gives you that ability, I think, to really personalize your lessons, offer some choice of how students are going to be able to access information.
Right. So teachers will access it through Classlink.
Correct. Yes.
And students aren't accessing it through Classlink. They're accessing it through however their teacher shares it with them.
Correct.
And Schoology also
has an integration.
integrates with Safari Montage. So that's a real simple, easy integration.
Yeah. So when you're in Schoology, you hit add materials on the right-hand side, you see Safari Montage, and that's one of the ways that you can access that as well, or through Classlink and being able to find different libraries. So when they click into Classlink, or they click into Schoology, and they get this Safari Montage library, they got now this, we're inside this instructional hub, right? That's going to, I think, continue to grow, as be my guess, over time. But what's the first, if they're just, again, looking at the Safari Montage part, we'll discuss maybe other parts of this other times, but looking at just the Safari Montage part, and they want to find some resources, what would they need to do?
So what I like to do, I'm a searcher,
Sure.
Whether I'm in Google Drive or Google, wherever I am. Once I click on, from your dashboard, you click on the blue search.
Okay.
And then there's a place to put in a keyword. So whatever the topic is you're working on, I'm just going to type something in here. You also have an age range, which is really good,
Yes.
so you can kind of cater it to your needs. And then you have a drop down of publishers. I always leave it as all publishers,
Sure.
because I don't want to narrow it down to
Right.
specific ones, but I mean, there are tons of publishers in here. So if you leave it open to all publishers, you click search, you can filter it even more if you need to. So once you search, it'll bring up all the information that's available. Now, if you want to get really specific, you can go along the top ribbon,
Mm-hmm.
and you can search by standards.
Nice.
So if you're looking for something very specific and not an overview of the topic,
Right.
then go right into standards, and you'll see all your standards here. And it's like, you click on one thing, which leads to another.
Yeah.
It even tells you how many objects that they have available
Right.
to you. When you click on it, it's amazing. It just shows you everything. Like here we have 26 videos in this. We have 16 documents. We have this amount of interactive.
Yeah, I remember putting in one thing, and there was like thousands of different resources that were available, which was pretty exciting, which could be a little overwhelming. So that's where the filters come in, and being able to determine or picking a certain publisher, like NASA's in there if you're doing something about space.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a weather one. NOAA has its own publishing site, so that you can kind of filter that down a little bit. And then again, the more specific you are, the better you're going to get with kind of the information that comes along with it. So
right.
Yeah, so when you hit the filter button, you've got different languages, you've got different types of what resource you're particularly looking for. So yeah, the filtering option will help you kind of bring that in, because it is a vast amount of resources that are available to you.
You mentioned languages.
Yep.
Once you're in searching,
Mm-hmm.
and you're finding whatever you want, there's also immersive reader. So
yes,
once you click on it, it will also read it to your students.
Nice.
So
yeah, so you got tons of different resources here with Safari Montage. Again, go and hit that search button. It's got lesson plan ideas, it's got activities, it's got videos, it's got documents, it's got everything you could pretty much use, again, to really personalize that lesson, add some choice to for your kids to be able to access and kind of engage into that as well. And the biggest thing, that it is standard based, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that you can
Absolutely.
really look for the standards that you're looking for to go through. And then the other part we also see is that if you're in that Safari Montage dashboard, there in the bottom right, you're just going to have using Safari Montage as well. And what's great about this is that it has a bunch of different tutorials and guides and user guides and different ways for you to kind of start to learn about what Safari Montage is. So,
yeah, short, sweet videos.
Yep. That'll help you kind of guide you through it.
Mm-hmm. One of the other things when you're searching
Mm-hmm.
along the top ribbon, you could search standards or playlists.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to create playlists.
Yep.
And all you're doing, when you find something you like and you didn't save it somewhere,
Yeah.
that's what a playlist is. If you're teaching about the Civil War, you might drop everything in a playlist for the Civil War, and then you can share that, excuse me, you can share that entire playlist, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a plethora of resources for your students.
Yep.
or you can share with other teachers. And I know Dr. Bradley and she has a group of English teachers. They've created a playlist for, I think it was middle school through high school. So they generated a whole bunch of topics that they're working on, and they created playlists for teachers. So yeah, so that's super helpful.
How do they access those playlists?
You can go to playlists at the top. And then on the left-hand side, you can click school playlist to see who's created one for the school.
Nice.
And district playlist. And then you'll see, you know, all it kind of says who it's created by, when it was created, and so on and so forth.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's a good way to be able to see what's already been kind of vetted by other teachers. That's a nice thing to have as well.
Right.
And then the other thing we briefly talked about it, but really talk about like the integration with Schoology when it comes to Safari Montage and kind of how easy it is to kind of access that. So again, once you're inside of Schoology, being able to, really just be able to assign something fairly quickly. That's where I guess probably playlists would be nice, or having something saved, because that you'd be, kind of easier for you to access it. But once you're in there, again, you go to add materials. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see Safari Montage is one of our LTI options. And so once you click into that, it takes you right to the Safari Montage search dashboard, where you have, again, those options to be able to search, make your selections, filter it, or again, search by standards. Once you've selected what it is that you want to select, you can, again, on the left-hand side, it will say add to Schoology. You click that, and it creates a link right there inside of Schoology for students to be able to access that resource.
Right. Super easy.
Yes. Anything else that the teachers need to know about Safari Montage?
If they just want to grab the link for the material, they can do that too. There's an option to grab a QR code or a link, because some teachers like to do it that way, or place the link in multiple places, maybe not only in Schoology, or if it's, K through 2, they might be dropping the link in Seesaw or wherever they're working.
Excellent. So definitely, again, check out this Safari Montage resource. It's an underutilized resource that can really help provide, again, like we've talked about many times, choice and options for your students to be able to access information in different ways, and then to give you just some more resources as well. So,
and I do want to say, it's not like a lesson plan already there. You can't just go and find a lesson plan, but you can
have some ideas and some frameworks and stuff.
You can find everything you need to create lesson plans.
Right, to enhance what you're already doing.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, and that's really what it's all about, enhancing, providing some choice, providing some different options, just a way to really take that lesson to the next level and try to hit all of your students by providing them different ways to access that information. So, and then it also has some really good ideas for ways to create interactives and things like that that are already created. So it's really kind of cool. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody enjoys it. We definitely want to hear from you and how you have used Safari Montage. So if there's something that we didn't, reach out so that we can make sure that we've shared it. Check the show notes for any resources. Check the show notes for links to the podcast video, to the tech tip video, and also to the Innovation Squadcast Unified Talent. Every 2 episodes, 1 hour of renewal credit. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast to get notifications for new episodes. And we also want to hear from you about podcast topics. What are we not talking about that you'd like to know more about? Reach out to us so that we can put the podcast together, do the research, and be able to do that. And if you want to be on it, you got a topic, you got something that the Berkeley County teachers need to hear about, or really any teachers need to hear about, we want you on here, right? There's a lot of things that you're doing that you could really share with the other teachers in Berkeley County that could benefit them and also benefit our students. And that's what this is all about. So please reach out to us, and we want you to be on the podcast with your ideas and your topics and your lessons and all the great things that you're doing. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.